How would you describe our friendship?
Great question. I describe it like, Can we do it again?
Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, December 13th. The time is 5:37. The weather is nighttime, but I think cloudy and cold, and I am happy. How are you? Great. I'm so glad. Okay, so this is another Living with Mel series video where I give you my unasked for advice and opinions on life. I feel like I have lived a very eventful life. I'm 24, I'm from Toronto, I have 2 degrees, I've lived in 5 apartments, I've owned a hedgehog, and then now I have moved to Japan and I live in Japan, and I've been here for about a year and 4 months. So I feel like I have a lot of advice to give and a lot of tips and tricks and knowledge, and that's why this series was born. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Mel, and this channel is just me and you doing things together. So thank you for joining the With Mel gang, which currently consists of 56 subscribers. So if you are my friend or my family member, even worse, please hit that subscribe button and go ahead and like the video as well, because it's gonna be a good one, I promise. Okay, so I have to film this whole video within like 10 minutes because I am going to the movie theater and I'm going to watch the Kimetsu no Yaiba movie with my friend. Anime people, where you at? Where you at? But as you can tell from the title of this video, it is going to be on how to make good friends. So a lot of people are like, Mel, what? I'm in my 20s, I know how to make friends, blah, blah, blah. And that's great. It's great if you have friends. It's great if you don't need friends. Then I guess this video is not for you. But I've had many people tell me, oh, Melissa, you have a lot of friends. Like, how do you make friends so easily? How do you connect with people so easily? And I also got inspired to do this video because of all of my unboxing videos, which I will link them up at the top. I have great friends in Canada who send me a bunch of care packages, and people are like, Mel, you always have friends sending you stuff. Like, my own family won't even send me stuff. Like, how are you always having people send you things? And it's because I've really made good friends, and I'm so grateful for them, and they're so amazing, and they enrich my life. So I thought I might as well give you guys the tips and tricks on how to make some good quality friends. So here we go. So you've probably never thought about how to make friends, because most of our friends have come from either childhood or school. School is such a great place to meet friends because, you know, especially if you're going into university or college, you go into a program of something you're interested in and you meet like-minded people. So obviously you're going to make friends really easily and really fast because you're just surrounded with people who are kind of on the same wavelength as you. But if you're an adult and you have to move because of a job or just because rent is cheaper somewhere else, you find yourself moving to a new city and you don't have like somewhere to go to every day to meet like-minded people. You have to like go to the city and like try to find people. That's hard. That's hard. So here are 5 tips and tricks on how to make friends. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe it's 6, but like this first tip is not a tip. I feel like it's common sense. The first thing is leave your house. And now I know we have Corona and this is like pretty hard to do, but when it's over, or like as long as you're following your country's guidelines, safely leave the house and enter the public space. That is step number 1. I'm not counting it. We'll count it as step 0 actually. Step 0, leave your house. And you can't just walk outside and be like, friends, where are you? Like, you can't do that unless you're in like a Disney movie or something. Maybe that would work, but you need to go to obviously somewhere where there are other people, and go somewhere that you like to go. Because again, like this is drawing from the whole school like-minded people aspect. Go somewhere you enjoy going, because you're going to meet other people who enjoy going there, and they're going to be, you know, like you. So like if you like going out and partying, like go to a bar. Obviously, I don't think a club is really the best place to make friends, because like there's loud music and you can't really hear people. But maybe if you make really good friendly eye contact, then yeah, sure, go to the club. If you're like a golfer, like go to the driving range, bowling alley, you know, you catch my drift. Go where you want to go. That's like fun and that other people are there. Okay, sorry. This is a stupid step, but if I didn't put it, I feel like people would be like, I've tried all your tips, but nobody's come into my living room yet to be my best friend. So yeah, step 0, go to a location where other people are. Great. Okay, real step number 1. Real step number 1. Have you heard people like, you know, friendships come so naturally, like when you meet someone, you just vibe with them and you go with the flow and you're like best friends? That's a lie. It's a lie. Like you can meet someone and have connection with them, but you won't just become friends. So tip number 1 is force it. I know people say you shouldn't force a relationship, you shouldn't force a friendship. At the beginning, you're gonna have to. You have to force it, because meeting someone new and hanging out for the first time, like alone with someone, is kind of awkward. It doesn't matter who you are. Like I'm a very outgoing person. The first time I hang out with someone like one-on-one, it is kind of awkward. You're like weirdly kind of going on a friend date. Like you want to make sure they're having fun, but also you want to have fun too. Like it's not just natural for anyone. Like I feel like everybody is freaking out and they're like, oh, I just get so anxious like hanging out with new people for the first time. Like what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody has that. Absolutely everyone. So erase that out of your mental space, and you have to just force it, you know? Obviously, it shouldn't be like painful. Like if you're having to force like being nice because the person sucks, like then you guys shouldn't be friends. What I mean though is force yourself to talk a bit more, but also not to talk over somebody. I feel like we get so used to our roles as like talkers or listeners. I love listening. I'm a huge listener because I'm really lazy, but also I can switch on my talker mode. And I have a very hard time finding the middle ground. I'm either completely quiet and I'm like, I just want you to talk at me and I'm gonna agree with you. Or I'm like, and this will happen, and this will happen, and my day's like this, and and I'm 5'9". You know, I can talk for forever. So I really have to find that middle ground. And when I hang out with somebody new, I make the conscious effort to find the middle ground. Be the listener, but also share. Because that first kind of hangout is you kind of like getting to know each other. Okay, tip number 2. Be annoying. And I don't mean like be annoying like a child. I mean, when you're first getting into a friendship, ask them to hang out. Like, don't be like, oh, should I text them? Like, is that gonna be weird? Like, if I text them like right now, are they gonna think like I'm like really clingy? No, it's not your, although I was gonna say it's not your boyfriend, but like that's a whole other topic. I won't talk about that either. But I don't know, like, are you trying to impress them with how stoic you are? No, like, be annoying. Like, text them, ask them to hang out. If they can't hang out on that day, ask them when they can hang out. Don't just like, oh, you can't hang out? Oh, okay. Don't stop. They're not saying no, they don't want to hang out with you. They're saying they don't have time. So be that person who's like, hey, like, why don't we get a coffee? And they're gonna be like, oh, wow, like they invited me out, and they're gonna go, and you guys are gonna have a good time. And afterwards be like, that was so fun. And then if you like if a while goes by, invite them out again. Like, be the annoying one, because like they will tell you if they don't like you. And by tell you, I mean like they will literally be like, oh, my grandma died. Oh, I can't do Monday through Thursday and every other Friday and Saturday and Sundays I go to church. Like you'll get the drift if they really don't want to hang out. But if you invite them like and they say yes and you go out and have a good time, and if you invite them again, they say yes again, They just don't know this tip. Nobody's told them to be the annoying one or the planner. And also, some people just aren't planners, and you just have to like force them to hang out with you because they just don't think about it. I have a lot of friends like that. So be the annoying one. This is a strong, strong tip. You'll never hang out if you don't ask. Okay, I have to speed through 3, 4, and 5 because I really got to catch this movie. Okay, tip number 3 is not a tip. It's more like facts. So there's the big debate between birds of a feather flock together and opposites attract. So people say with any relationship, whether it be friends or like a girlfriend, boyfriend, here's what I have to say. I have some friends who are literally me. Just me in different form. And we get along great and we do a lot of fun things together. And I also have friends who are nothing like me. Like we couldn't be two different people. And I also love them and we get into like crazy things together. So I will just quickly break down a few key points of these different friends. So the similar friends, they are the easier friends to make. So these are the people who you're gonna find in like the like-minded environments. You're gonna find these similar people. They are already kind of on the same vibrational wave as you are. So you're gonna click pretty easy and conversation's gonna be pretty easy. Also, you'll be able to agree on activities to do together. So you probably like will enjoy the same music, so maybe you can go to the same concerts or like the same movies, so you can see a movie together. So these are really like low maintenance friendships and they're really easy to make and keep. But this is the con. The keep is kind of iffy. They're easy to keep if you're in close proximity. But I feel like these are also the relationships that are ones to like the easiest to die if you don't maintain them. Like if you move then to a different city, you're gonna make more like-minded people. And I'm not gonna say you're gonna forget about your friend, but like they're also gonna make like-minded people and they're gonna have that same kind of friendship dynamic with somebody else. So like your friendship can die more easier. Sorry, English, it's hard. But do you understand what I'm saying? Obviously, like if you work to maintain your relationship, it's not gonna die. Like if you guys still talk every day and you're connecting and vibing, like you're gonna keep that friendship because it's really easy to keep. But it's really easy to replace. So that's the only kind of like con with like really similar friends. On the other hand, there's the opposite friends. So here, I think opposite friends are a bit harder to make because you don't find them in those like-minded, environments. You like either they're a friend of a friend, or you meet them at work, or you meet them like somewhere where you have to be but not want to be, or like you meet them kind of really like in the situation. It's really circumstantial. Like they could be a next door neighbor or something like that. That's where you meet these people. I think like having opposite friends is so beneficial. At first, you are going to have to force it because they will be different than you. So you guys probably won't like the same things and they might be completely different. Like if you're an extrovert and they're an introvert, communication might be really hard at first and you might not really do things the same way. So this is another keep tip on like being annoying. Be the annoying one because keep trying for that communication. Because if you just keep working at it, like you'll find a groove eventually. Like you'll carve out a flow for you guys. And that's where it gets fun because you will be pushed to do more adventurous things that are outside of your comfort zone. So if you meet someone who's really artistic and you're like you can't even draw a straight line, like they might bring you to a pottery class or something and you guys might have like a fucking hoot. Or like if you're more outgoing and like the partier, you might like bring them to a party, like a house party, and they find out that they're really good at beer pong or something. Like that's when you start to bring each other out of comfort zones. And I find like this is really rewarding. So here, these relationships last. These ones like can be so like distance doesn't matter. These are the people, you know how you have friendships like, oh, I don't talk to them, like I can go months without talking to them, but when we connect again, like it's like we're right back on. It's these people. this is it. These are these people. Because like once you like work in the beginning, work hard for that like connection, it's really hard to like diminish, and it's also really unique. So they can't find somebody else who like fits that same relationship groove that you guys carved out. And also you can't find somebody, and it's harder to find somebody like you know how much you worked for this friendship, so you can't replace it that easy. So those are the two different like friendships and the pros and cons of both. That's why I say like I have friends who are so similar to me and I have friends who are so different. Both of them are beneficial. Both of them, like all of my friends I love, and that's my 2 cents on the two groups. Tip 4 and 5. So tip 4 is be honest and be your true self. Like this is such like a time and time again told tip, but I feel like I have to say it. Be honest. So be your true self. At first, when you're forcing it, like, you know how I said sometimes I'm more of a listener, sometimes I'm more of a talker, and it's hard for me to find the balance. So I have to like force to find the balance. So I guess people would be like, well, that's not like really being your true self, Mel. It is being my true self, but it's also being mindful, like, of another person's feelings, you know? So at the beginning, like you're more mindful and you're more empathetic because like you're not friends yet, like you're just acquaintances. So you need to like make sure you don't step on anybody's toes. But after you have become friends and you're in the friendship, like you can't be in that force it phase anymore. You can only be in the force it phase at the beginning. Like once you are smoothly in the relationship, this is when you shouldn't be forcing it. So you have to be your true self. And also, be honest. So, like if your humor is naturally dark or something, or I don't know, if you're naturally loud, like continue to be that way. Because if they don't like it, they're gonna leave. And those are the people who should leave. Because this is not about making the most amount of friends, it's making the best quality friends. So if they don't like your natural self, you shouldn't try to change it. And it would be exhausting to like pretend to be someone else with your friend again and again. So be honest. And this might cause fights, but fighting between friends, like it should never mean the end of a friendship. It should just like be about setting your boundaries and like telling them what you are okay with and finding out what they're okay with. So that's tip number 4. It's like really short, sweet, and simple. Be honest. The ones who love you and like love the true you will stay, and the ones who like don't will leave, and we don't need those ones because they don't like you, you know? Okay, last but not least, tip number 5. Inspire your friends to be better people. This is probably my biggest like Mel Sensei tip here. Inspire your friends to be better people. Now, I have people going, Mel, when I hang out with my friends, like I just want to chill. I just want to like relax. I don't want to be like motivationally speaking them like into their next degree. Girl, of course you can relax and have time with your friends. Hell, have the whole summer doing nothing but sitting on a beach. I've done that. Like, I'm not saying every time you hang out with a friend, you have to be pushing them to be a better version of themselves. But when you see them kind of like going down a different path or like maybe kind of getting stuck in a rut, don't be afraid to like inspire them to do something, or don't be afraid to tell them to do something. You know, like if you see somebody being like a douchebag or like a deadbeat, tell them. Like real friends would tell them. Fake friends would like ignore it, you know, and let them continue bad behavior or not good behavior. No. Inspire your friends to be better people, because they will, at first, you know, they might not like it, and they might feel like you're trying to, you know, tell them what's right and what's wrong, and that you're judging them. But again, this is quality friends. Like quality friends will realize you're doing it for them and not for you. But if I'm doing it, it's not because I want to, it's because I want you to, you know? I'm doing this because I love you and I care about you. yeah. This is my biggest tip. Like, always root for your friends. And another thing that plays into this is don't be jealous. Like, if you have work friends and you have somebody who's outperforming you, like, don't be angry at them or bring them back down to your level. Like, appreciate them. Tell them to go even further and try yourself to like get to that level. If you find yourself constantly like looking at what your friends have and like feeling anger or jealousy, like, you are not being a good friend and you will not keep good friends. If you constantly have jealousy within your friendships, those are not good friendships and you need to leave them, because either you're being the bad friend or they're being the bad friend, or you guys just aren't good friends for each other. If you are good, like in a good friendship with someone, you will never feel jealous. Ever. Maybe unless they have like a really hot like girlfriend or boyfriend, like maybe then you'd be like, damn, they cute. But you should never be jealous of their success. You should never be jealous of what they achieve in life. And you should always be pushing them to go even higher. Gambare, you know? Always be their number one supporter. And always be there to help them out of a dark place. Even if they don't want your help. Even if they didn't ask for your help. Because this ties back into tip number 2 would be annoying. Just be the constant in their life. Have that same energy from when you started being friends, you know? Just be a good person. Anyways, that is the end of my tips from tip 0 to tip 5. And now I have to catch this movie. Oh, my friend just messaged me. I have to catch this movie, which starts in like 30 minutes. I don't know if we're even gonna make it. But anyways, thank you guys for joining me on today's video. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I hope it's useful for you guys who are either, you know, going to school or starting a job somewhere, or you're not going anywhere but you just feel like you want to have more friends, or you want to have better quality friends, or you want to improve the quality of your friendships that you have currently. This video is definitely for you, and if it helped, please give me a like and maybe subscribe if you want to. And for my friends and family back home watching, I love you guys. Thank you for your support. Please share my video. See you. Bye.
Yeah, we watched Demon Slayer, the movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. I give it a 8 out of 10.
Oh, even though we couldn't understand this, most of it.
We kind of had to guess the story, but yeah.
It's like a complete your own story, like, you know, like those books where you choose the ending.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Would recommend.
Would recommend. Go see Demon Slayer.
Yeah.